weekly Dama news coming at you from Entertainment. My name is MJ. I'll be the host, and I'm taking everyone through weekly what happened within kendama. If you didn't make it, if you missed it, if there's something that you wanted to discuss, talk about, hey, this is the place to nerd out and get your fill of, some Dama friends. Because I know not everyone has some buddies that they can hang out with and nerd out about Dama with. All right, so that's why we're going to be doing it right here, right now. Going to be jamming it. If you checked out the stories that happened yesterday, I believe, or earlier this morning for you guys, I was asking for people who went to NAKO, and I was asking for specific stories of your NAKO experience. I want to keep it coming full circle and hearing from everyone how NAKO was. What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining right now. So I'm going to be going through, of course, the news as well, but also going through some of the stories that people have shared on that little story that I posted the other day. And if anyone would like to stick around and tell their story live here Cat's hanging out too. She's here. If you want to join me live and hang out and talk, tell the story of NAKO yourself to everyone, we're going to be doing that later on. So first half, we're going to be just rolling through the stories, the news of this week in kendama. Jboogz, you got a good one, all right? It's good. Yeah, no, some people gave me a bunch of good ones, and I actually haven't even read them yet. So it's going to be first for me too to read these and to share them with everyone. So let me know, Jboogz. I see you sent me one, but do you want to join in and tell it yourself? Let me know. Okay, so yeah, me and the cat are hanging out. So actually, wow, didn't have so many things. Going through it really quickly, I believe everyone is pretty exhausted, petered out, if you will, from NAKO happening, especially the Sweets crew. They spent such a long time preparing for this, and then they set it down, had a great time, and all the video that I've seen from everyone who was participating, as well as from Sweets themselves, all the companies that were there, repping with their players, as well as like having booths to sell goods, merch and stuff. It seemed like a super awesome experience and really great to be back into it in real life. Dama events, and again, the biggest one in North America, one I have yet to be a part of because, flying over from across the world isn't such an easy thing to do, especially if it's just for kendama. I feel like I can't take a ticket just for that and, not see my friends and family back home, so that I have to, dish out a little more money to make that loop over to the East Coast. And now with the family getting bigger and bigger, it's difficult, as well as with the yen dropping lower and lower, okay? But Jboogz, you're going to join and tell it? Awesome. All right, so let's hear it. Let's see what happened within this week. Hey, it was announced. Catch and Flow is happening this December. This is one that I believe even Weens was talking about during the freestyle finals at NAKO, saying that if you have the chance, if you have the opportunity, this is another one of the major events if you are a kendama nerd and want to be and experience the different styles of competitions, and especially around the world. Japan is just the place. It's the homeland for this skill toy that we all love. So it only makes sense to join Kendama World Cup, of course, down in Hatsukaichi, the birthplace of the kendama, the current kendama that we know and love, and Catch and Flow, hosted by MC of the World Cup, Nobu, creator of 430 Decade Shop, and he just decided to take upon himself to create this freestyle b-boy thing, which actually wasn't. There was freestyle, but he really solidified it as being a single competition. We're not going to have it's not like a jam, weekend competition, local, or where they have different ladders and there's freestyle. No, this was the first official. This event is freestyle and freestyle only. We got judges. We got a big round of players. We have schedules and shit. One day, done. So it's happening. In real life, this December, you guys are invited. if you got the funds, to make your way out to Japan. Again, as I was saying, the yen is very low compared to the dollar right now. So if you come over here, you exchange your money, you'd be like, shit, I'm like kind of rich. And yeah, you will be. All right. And it's another reason. Again, no one from Japan is like going over to the US. It's a bad idea right now. But there has been news that Japan has opened up the borders. Like, you remember the old Resident Evil PS1, how much time it took just to go through a door, just to go up the stairs, all the animation that made the suspense just really kick in. That's what's happened in Japan. The borders have creaked open, and they are allowing anyone and everyone, tourists, to come, not being stuck to a plan of where you're going to go, not having stuck to go to an embassy. I believe, I'm not sure about the whole embassy. Maybe you still have to go to the embassy in your country, in the US where you are. And then it should be a simple, like, just come to Japan. If you're a US citizen, you automatically get a 3-month, 90-day visa as a tourist. So you can come to Japan, and enjoy. So that's news for everyone. Be on the lookout. If you have any questions about it, I would definitely advise you to check out like your Japanese embassy in your state. They'll probably have more information about traveling to Japan. But yeah, I believe it's going to be good for December. So if you want to make your travel plans, get going little by little, get into it. So that's one big news that has happened. The other one is, hey, new players? Interesting one I picked up. DamaDepot, right? Over in the East Coast, run by the Major, the other MJ. He has made a name for himself by taking so many companies, kendamas, Franken-damaing them up, giving so much information about the weights, how you're able to just get the Ken option only, or just the Tamas, mix and matching. Really a good amount of different companies' kendamas you can find at this one place. Not to mention, like, New Lace kendamas, you can only buy their kendamas through DamaDepot. Very interesting setup. But you know, he's been creating a name for himself, DamaDepot, and they have just announced a sponsored player. Now, this takes me to the times of, you know, being a rowdy youth, skateboarding and trying to move up in the ladders of becoming a sponsored pro, what have you, a skateboarder, pretty much, right? And the first steps are becoming sponsored by the local shops, those local skate shops in your area. There's many competitions and shit that happen, and if you do good, you get a spot there. And this is kind of what it seems like, just because, you know, it's a store. But at the same time, this might be like the best kind of sponsorship, because what does he get? Okay, and the person who is, it's Pinchy William, at Pinchy William Schlageter. Sorry, Pinchy, if I messed that up. So congrats on the sponsorship. But he has, yeah, and please watch the edit, exactly as Jboogz just says. Go watch the edit. You can see it in his, as well as maybe in the Depot's. No, you got to go to Pinchy Williams' Instagram handle. Check out the link, and you can get you can check out his edit. But very interesting, because, and I was saying, he's got to be the best sponsorship, because does he get to just choose whatever kendamas he wants? DamaDepot right now does not have any. I think they made a collab with New Lace and released a Natty Dama, which I now recall seeing within the past month. So you to get that, or can he choose from all of the companies, from everything that is available? No rules. He's got it. Or this is where this is where all the nerding happens, right, guys? And you can let me know in the comments. Jboogz is hitting it up. Or is it going to be a kind of entry for DamaDepot to start creating their own kendamas in the future? Who knows? Who knows? Right? If you were in this position and you had your choice, what would you be going? Twan only says Evos. Should we pick it up Evos? Possibly. Just mixing and matching, figuring out what's going to be good, what's not going to be good. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Other things that are dope is Chrome really I was going to say exploring, then I was going to say expressing, but it's neither of those, MJ. Just showing the behind the scenes of how they create their damas, at least how Hyundai produces the damas. There was an engraving little clip that they had, and there's another reel that is them doing the pad printing of one of their damas, the plasticity, I believe. So it's really cool to see just the process of it. If you've ever found yourself in that YouTube rabbit hole of how things are made, hydro dipping shit. And this is another kind of very interesting thing, pad printing, to see how it happens. And Hyundai has just really gotten better and better at their craft and everything that they've done, and the quality has gone up a lot more than it was in like 2014, 15, 16. Actually, I'm not even sure if they were around 14, but doing really cool stuff, and it's cool to see how it's made. Very interesting. So keep on the lookout. I'm going to be, I always love that behind the scenes shit, so I'd like to see more of these kinds of videos from Chrome. Interesting how they got these videos. Is it Hyundai? Did they ask Hyundai to do it for them, to take it so they could show it to everyone? Interesting, but really dope to see the behind the scenes again. Okay, support some homies, right? Especially the little dudes who are on the grind, creating something that is for the community, and as well as for themselves, something different, some like a passion project or something they're really pushing forward with. Occult kendamas. Hey, they always got some very interesting damas. For one, Kens as well, the shape of that base cup, really interesting. Doing collabs here and there, it's really dope. They got a new t-shirt out. Occult Gang t-shirts are out on the website, so go check it out. They had them ready for NAKO last weekend, not a ton left, but we figured we throw them up on the website. You get them while they're hot. So really cool to see. They do have a really cool aesthetic with their artwork that you can see within their brand, which is cool. So if you dig it, jump on it, like Monstro type stuff. So that's cool. Support the local, mom and pop shops. Okay. All right. We're just gonna get into the G shape, or are we gonna go? Yeah. Let's just get right to the G shape. Let's clear the waters. The Gallagher shape. Gallagher's. Wow, you can't leave sweets now because they got the shape. It's really cool to see these different companies really leaving it to the players to create new shapes for them. And of course, most of these companies are run by players, but they're also possibly the OGs, people who maybe won't be able to be the highest ranked players pushing the envelope right now. So it makes sense that those players are the ones that are kind of in talks with creating the next kendama that comes out. So the G shape is the second shape after the amped that has come out from Sweets this year, being their new kind of flagship Ken and the Ken shape. So it was really interesting. If you can go learn more about it, check out the Sweets YouTube channel. There's, I think, like a 7-8 minute video of Nick and Zach, the G boys, the G units, talking about the G shape and how it was actually the first idea they had before the amped, but for some reasons they don't disclose really, that they decided to push the amp first and then the G shape after. Okay. Better for slingers, and that was one thing that both of them were talking about, that the boost really lacked in, slinging. And yeah, my splice that I have back there, I definitely enjoy gunslingers, and I find it a little difficult to hit multiples. I mean, I'm only doing doubles. The triples are always fly off my finger, but still, when the base cup, it's got that booty hole. It's weighted out, so it's hollowed out, so you can do lunars, which I'm not so much a massive fan of. You know, the balance gets a little broken. So here they decided to figure out a way to create a place where you can, hey, sling, as well as adding the weight. That was a really cool idea. Adding the weight, Purple Heart little like dowel rod, smacked right through the sarado, and that is going to help out add the weight that has been lost from the really not intricate, but more defined carving out from that sarado part. So it's interesting to see who will be deciding to, or where Sweets will be deciding to put this. Is it going to be an option for everything? Like, you know, they're amp shaped, like all the Damas coming out from now on, will they be getting both options? Kind of like, you know, the paints. You can get in sticky or you can get in cushion. There'll be a price difference, but you have the option. Really cool. A weird kind of thought I had, I don't know if it makes sense or not, is like, if the thing that is different, because even the Gallaghers say that the spike, the base cup, is the same as the amped, it's just sarado that really makes the G shape. Would it be interesting if Sweets was just selling sarados for like $14 or something, so you could throw it on, switch it on and off? But then again, I guess just or just getting a Ken option would be pretty nice as well. But it is really cool. I would have to say that the Gallaghers get a new colorway right away with this upgrade. It's really quick. Was it shocking for anybody? Like for me, like just a little bit. But it makes sense because it was the Gallaghers' labor of love that they put into creating this shape. So it makes sense that they are the ones having the first pro shape in the amps, and then the first kind of pro shape with this G shape, right? The one thing that I also wanted to talk about was some people, I forgot where it was, if it was either the YouTube channel or the Instagram account. People get talking smack to Sweet, saying like, oh, well, they're just going to be like stealing shapes from quad kendamas. This is not a new thing. The whole really hard defined edge within the sarado, not where the cup is, but you know, as it's going into where your finger would rest for gunslingers and stuff, where it goes into the sword. It's not a new thing. You want to know who did this first? If we want to go back to like who was the first one? Yumu Kendama's 2017 created the eclipse shape. This was one of their defining selling points. Sorry about the cat, but she's emotional about this too. We don't need to be emotional about nothing. It's just a simple mistake of we don't have to point fingers about anything to anyone, because kendama is just going to evolve here and there. You never know when it's going to happen. So Yumu did it 2017. They came out with it in the eclipse. And this goes to one of the cases where it's like they were kind of ahead of the game. And when they produced this, nobody was really ready for it. Nobody really wanted it. Nobody was looking for it. People were talking about how it's like, it feels weird. It's like, it's such a hard edge, but, or it's even like kind of cheating, because they created it so the Dama would sit on like in bat position or axe like super, super well. It would just lock in. But hey, now we see this is what's happening. This is what quad definitely took on. Not saying that they like stole it. You can't steal these shapes anymore. Like any invention, anything that comes out, there's going to be someone who already did it. And I don't believe, we don't want to be like the JKA trying to patent the shape of a kendama so that nobody else can make it, Like, we all saw what happened with laser discs, Sony, yeah? We saw what happened to mini discs, Sony, okay, again. You patent your shit, and then nobody else is going to make it, nobody else is going to buy it. So, yeah. No one will ever know. It's going to be natural. to have kind of copycats that aren't even copying. It's just the minds, the energy is set in the same plane. And it just so happens that, hey, within a few months or days or weeks or even the same time that these things get released. And it's like, oh shit, we thought of the same thing. We both wanted this. But Yumu did it again, the eclipse, 2017. We'll see what other things that Yumu was very inventive. They still have their Instagram account up, so you can go and check out the crazy things. You know, rocks. It's a 50-50 split with a rock on top. Magnets in the Dama and the cups, so it sticks in there because they're magnets holding them together. Okay, little lines in the fucking sword, so you know exactly when is a good time to be like, oh, this is like king right now for lunars because it's hit this notch on the sword. You know, there's a lot of different things that they did early on. Not too early, 2017, to innovate, but it seems like the rest maybe because they weren't so popular, the rest of the community was like, I don't know. And you know, we got it with the jet too. Kendama USA's jets, they have that hard defined edge on the side though, on the rings. So hey, everyone's gonna be doing it. It's gonna be a new thing. It could be the fad of now, you know. It's going to come and go. It's like fashion, everyone. Comes and goes. Comes and goes. Like 80s, like chain wallets coming back. Jankos, people are going on that shit again. Those like weird like chokers. Circles. Round. Tamas. Cups. Here's another one. 30 seconds. Hashtag Big Cup Spike Challenge. The results September 25th from Kendama. Again, they've been doing a lot of competitions online on Instagram. If you haven't been following them, you should go check it out. You should try some of these challenges because they are very simple and you just got to put in some time and effort, and hey, you might win something, which hey, why not win something cool. All you got to do is make consecutive big cup to spike, big cup spike, big cup spike in 30 seconds. Post it, tag them, use the hashtag, and then on their post, comment how many number of makes, and you could win something. Why not? Why not try it? Right now, and it ends, I said it at the beginning, right? Deadline is the 25th of September. There's only one person. Oh, wait, is the comment gone? I saw only one person leave a comment. So, yeah, right, Stacey? So, check it out. Give it a shot. Why not? No one's really doing it right now. And you know what else no one is really doing? At least from the research that I've done? Sponsor Me Sweets. It was announced a few weeks ago that on YouTube, Sweets is bringing it back to the old days of putting out Sponsor Me videos, Sponsor Me edits, and they will choose the whole team, which is fucking massive now, by the way. Did you guys count how many people? Sweets is huge. Taken over. It's like the coronavirus of kendama. Sweets has a huge number of players, and they will be choosing who will be the next sponsored player. It could be one person, it could be 6. Sweets said it himself. There's no limitations right now, but they're going to be doing this. Everyone has 2 months. From my research, I have found 2 people who have entered. 2. Stacey, don't be intimidated, because go to YouTube, hashtag sponsor me sweets, and check out and then on the filter, go to like within this year to see who posted, and you'll see those pop up. 2 dudes, one little bro from Germany, and he's probably like, I don't know, 8 years old, and another dude from Utah, both very basic. Started probably within the past year, kendama players. Still, lacing some tricks. Not the bangers that we've all would expect when you would see, hey, a sponsor me video. And this is the thing that is very interesting. What will Sweets do? Will Sweets be on the edge of looking for the highest performers? Or are they going to be looking at the people with the best vibe, the person that matches the best? I kind of think it's going to be the latter, because if you look at and remember when they brought on, oh my gosh, Lauren crap, I forgot this. There were three ladies that joined the team. Forgot when they joined. 2021, possibly in or December of 2020, have joined the team, right? And they had to say specifically, because there was a lot of flack that they were getting, like, hey, they're not the best players, like, blah, blah, blah. It's not about being the best player. So I believe it's going to be the same as this. Oh, thank you, Stacey. Lauren, Emily, Chuck. Yes. 2020. Bring it in. Nerds. Stacey knows. So don't be shy, guys. I implore you. Be a part of this, because this is how the old heads felt like when all these companies, because this is the norm. This was the norm, everyone, for companies to put out, hey, sponsor me competitions. And this is how they were able to pick out players and create their teams. I believe Kusa was really special because they had an insight into the rollerblading community. And then from that, they picked up players. And it was kind of bred from the inside, and then those players chose other players. So it kind of felt like, if anyone's remembered, like, you know, people are like, how do you get sponsored? And people are like, oh, you got to be friends with someone, or kind of like connection definitely does help. And I believe even in this case, it will give you extra points if you know some of the people, or if the players who are, you know, on suites who are choosing know who you are. Definitely believe so. Oh man, Jacob from New Lace, he said he did that too. There you go. So check it out. Be a part of it. I forgot what it is. We probably all have like a month left right now. And if you think and you check out other video competitions that have happened in recent years, everybody's going to wait until the last minute to post something. If you got something, don't be shy, post it. If you've been waiting, just make sure of when your deadline is, depending on where your time zones are, and put it in. Put it in. It's going to be awesome. Let's give the Sweets team something to really look at. Spend a long time. They're going to be like, holy shit. You know, there's only like 2 minutes each. At least there has to be at least like, I was going to expect like 100 entries to this. Sweets is massive. They have grown the community by lengths within the past 2 years with how many sponsors that they've picked up. And it's up to the people to get the courage enough to go out, film themselves, and put it in the work. Again, you know, Sweets to say, he's like, you know, you got to have this, kind of have that. Don't worry about having everything. Just put it out there. You know, it's like a job resume. They're always like, we need this and this many years experience, and you got to be able to do this. You're like, I don't have all of that, but still apply, because you never know who the other people who are applying who maybe don't have that thing that you actually do have, but then they have that thing that you don't have. You know what I'm saying? Okay, reading some from New Lace. It totally wasn't a move for New Lace Kendama, because you can get people who are confused about what they want in their relationship with Kendama to be their expectations or sponsorship. Oh yeah, all right. Shy of the Month's going to get stacked for sure. Yes, Stacey. I found it easier to build rapport with some first, so I get to know who the person is behind. Yeah, who the player is. It makes sense. I believe like that's how I would go to, and that's why like the interview section for those videos are a big thing. I feel the skill level is high nowadays. Sponsor me seems out of reach. You never know. It feels out of reach. Is it in reality? We don't know. And you never know until you try. So why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? Nothing. Really? You're not going to get chosen. And if you already have that in your mind, like, probably not going to choose me, then just enjoy kendama. So that's it for the news. Let's go into NAKO. NAKO stories. If you are one, Stacey, Jboogz, I know you're in here, and as well as sent me along good stories. If you would like to share them live right now, jump on, send me the request, and I will be happy to hear from everyone about, you know, happy to share the stage and let you guys share your personal experience with NAKO. There we go. Jboogz is in it. View request. Bam. Accepts. Jboogz jumping in. Weekly Dama News talking about NAKO experience. Let's us. Oh, yeah. There he is. Jboogz, thanks. Thanks for joining. Thanks for always hanging out, being a nerd.
Was a car ride.
All right. So we're here to do. First of all, so let's hear it. Yeah, NAKO story.
Ridiculous. NAKO, ridiculous. Everybody just loved each other. Next event, met on the board. But okay, so me, for the judge, like that guy. Yeah. I'm through this. Sorry, bro, this ain't you. He's like, no. Whoa, like I legitly, I'm taking the card from the top of the list and I'm just flipping it. Don't even care. And so, 1 second, the train's gonna come. Sorry.
No worries. Even let everyone know the train's coming through. So, Jboogz, I'm getting everyone saying on your end that is difficult to hear you, but you look great still. Are you on Wi-Fi? You heard the train. I actually, personally, I hear you the whole time. So it must be a connection. Maybe it's the connecting through me over to you. So everyone, you will be able to hear this later on when it's posted up on YouTube. Hopefully, the download will work out.
Okay, so,
but keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
He was just like, calm down. I stopped and I ripped my shirt. He said, calm down. I closed my eyes and JR voice hits my head and goes, calm down with his voice. It hits me too because he always does the same thing. I call him back, sweep the home at 3-2. Yeah. Man, and everybody was like, I'm so sorry, but it was like the happening stuff, but like how the community like treated it after, like it made me feel good. Like, yeah, it sucked. It put like that sour taste in there for like 10 minutes, and then once it was done, it was done. I was like, at least if I lost, I would have been a little bit upset.
Yeah.
So it turned out like it failed, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, dude. There it is. You take in something that could be possibly a negative, switching around, having the support from everyone who was there in person, because you wouldn't be able to get that if we were all online still. It'd just be like laggy audio, like it could be for now, or dropping Wi-Fi. Who knows?
So I go to the powder room, if you know my name.
Let's hear it.
And I'm like, oh, let me watch. I got like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm telling you about the T-shape, and it's the funniest thing. I'm trying to like explain it, and my text and I'm out on the
okay.
Oh my god! I'm like trying to tell you, and then like someone came in there like, what are you doing? It was a mess, and I was just like, all right. And then I got hopped off. I was like, I can't tell them more about this shit.
Dude, that insider, like, on the floor.
Oh yeah.
News right on the spot.
Man, I gotta go to work. I appreciate you, man.
Good shit. Everyone, let's hear it. Jboogz, thank you so much, dude.
All right.
Exactly. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah. A wonderful, wonderful story, everyone, from Jboogz, the man himself. He's been in it and just been super generous in so many different places. It is amazing. Let's do the next one. I think let's check it out. Stacey, here we are. Stacey, we'll see how the audio rolls through. Again, right, like Jacob was saying, you guys are feeding through the Wi-Fi, coming down satellites to Japan, and then heading back out over on your side. Here we are, Stacey. Thanks for joining on. I saw your beautiful messages that you gave me, but let's share it with everyone so they can experience how you felt through NAKO.
So, can you hear me okay?
I'm good.
You guys in the chat, can y'all hear me okay?
Let's see.
So, I'm just going to go ahead and start. It was my first NAKO, it was my first in-person kendama competition because I really kind of got really into kendama in like 2020 when everything was shut down. So I've been doing online competitions and I thought, okay, yeah, I know what this is like because I've done it where like people are watching the stream and it is worlds different and was the most amazing weekend. I tell Chris, because, I'm married to Chris Kendama, and it was the second best weekend of my life. Marrying him was the first best. Like, it was just...
Oh, hey, that's big.
Right. I mean, it was an emotional experience. I mean, I literally cried to Matt Sweets at the after party at Up Down, and it was just a whole thing. But yeah, so Saturday was my birthday. And
Happy
so
birth.
thank you. I got to go, and that was also my day that I got to compete. Like first in the morning, we were one of the first ones to go. I was an intermediate, so, early on. And as I get on stage, Matt just kind of stops everybody and is like, okay, we're going to sing happy birthday to Stacey. So like everyone in the room turns to sing happy birthday right before I compete. And I'm just shaking and crying a little bit, And it was the best.
Damn it, Sweet's bad idea. Right now.
In retrospect, it's kind of like it's nerve-wracking, but also it was just the best experience. Even though like I literally was so shaky, I actually lost that match. It was hilarious, but yeah, it was great. But yeah, I mean, I had the best time. I heard kind of sort of Jboogz was talking about his experience where Austin had to kind of help calm him down.
Yeah.
And so on Sunday, I don't know if you watched the live stream of the finals day at the varsity. Did you get to see a lot of that?
Man, it was like almost every time I was able to jump to my computer, it was like in the middle of something, and then I would be out, and then I came back, and then it's like finished. So I watched some of the archive stuff. I was scrolling through here and there. For sure.
And like, I don't necessarily want to showcase a negative experience, but it became a beautifully positive experience. So on Sunday, they were behind a little bit because the lights had gone out. And so they were kind of pushing a couple of matches at the same time, and it was a little bit stressful. So the finals matches for the girls intermediate were both like third place match and first place match are on the stage at the same time.
Okay.
And so, I think it was just really stressful and we were all kind of like moving really quickly. But during my match, there was an opportunity for me to match a trick that my opponent landed and it was skipped. So I kind of stopped my judge and was like, hey, do I get to go again? And he was kind of like, no, I don't think so. And my opponent was like, no, I don't think so. So we just moved on with it. Well, luckily, Chris was filming me. And so we were able to kind of refer back to that. And we noticed like, hey, yeah, I really was supposed to get to try to match that point.
Yeah.
And so we did a rematch.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. So a lot of people were really confused as to why, because they had already done AM Open at this point and we had to kind of be squished in between there. But it really was just it wasn't a negative experience so much as it was just kind of like jarring,
Yeah.
Had to do the same thing. He like coached me like how you see a football player get pulled to the side by their coach and they're like giving him a pep talk. That's exactly what he was doing. He was just like, okay, calm. And then on stage, when I'm in that actual like match with my opponent,
calm mode, yeah,
and like feed off each other, and I look down and he's just standing there smiling at the edge of the stage, and it was like it all clicked into place. It was so good. But
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so great. And yes, that's something that happens, so many technical things that could happen that push schedules back. And then it's really, really difficult for the event organizers to figure out what can happen. If they have a plan B, that's awesome. If they have a plan C, usually not, because they hope they don't need even plan B. But hey, there you go. Maybe this is some news for everyone, have a personal photographer, someone taking video of your match, because if some shit happens, hey, put it on the Jumbotron replay. Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, I talked to Grove and I was like, hey,
this happened. I know it was just like the third place match for intermediate, so it's not like the end of the world, but I just really wanted you to know. And he's like, no, this matters. We're going to go figure it out. And so he talked to her, and she's like, I don't really want to go home knowing that I don't know if this would have been this way. And so she's like, I'm down for a rematch if she is. And he came to me and like, yeah, let's do this. And so then, of course, we get up there and it's just this really beautiful interaction. We're encouraging each other because that's how you do. Yeah. And you ended up getting third place. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was just really beautiful to actually get the opportunity to try it again, so.
Yes. Oh, well, there you have it. Wonderful experience coming from everyone singing happy birthdays to getting third place, to also just seeing everyone. Because Stacey, I know, like, I've seen you from the Twitch streams over that Matt does, the Sweets and stuff. I always see you there hanging out. So definitely being a prevalent part of the community there, and then finally being able to say hi, high five, see everyone in person. It's totally another new level of an experience, and just, creates that bond a lot stronger. This is so dope.
For sure. It definitely solidified friendships that, you would consider someone your friend, even though you literally never met them in person. And now having met them in person, it's like, yes, absolutely, we are friends. Like, you just, like I said, I think I hugged Austin Donovan like 5 times at Upstart, just both of us having these philosophical kendama talks. It was just beautiful. It was just really a beautiful experience, And even just like Jboogz was here earlier, getting to meet him in person was so heartwarming. For a homie for life, for sure. You know what I mean? It was just
yeah. That's what it is. And so it's about everyone. And then just imagine that experience traveling over to Japan. That's where it really hits. That's where another really thing that is amazing. And especially when people are traveling from far away, and you're pretty much seeing these people that you're saying yourself, Stacey, right? Is like friends for life, but you only get to see them like in person, like at these events. So it really, really makes them a lot more special. And it's really cool because it, like, personally, it relaxes you from the pressures of the comp, and it really pushes that the van jam vibes of just go out there and have fun.
Right. It's an infinite support system. It's so beautiful.
Amazing.
Well, I had a question for you, actually. Do you want to see a comparison of the amped and G-shape?
Ooh. Hey, why not? I'm sure people are interested, so let's see it. Stacey's gonna roll out, and not roll out completely. She's gonna be coming back, showing us the amp compared to the G-shape. From what we've heard, from what I've understood, that is the SATA, though, is the big difference in the two. So let's see it. Side-by-side comparison.
This is the amped Nick. Can you see okay?
Yeah.
This is the G-shaped Nick. So I'm going to take the Dama off because that's really going to help you to showcase that serrato. And I love it that you pronounce it properly, and I definitely mess it up every time.
So, yeah.
So, if you want to compare, do you see...
Okay, the big cups.
Your big cups touching.
And
then... This is going to be your small cups touching.
Okay.
Makes sense? So, in the end, like, base cup obviously looks the same, pretty much. So, in the end, what I've learned, like, because I'm still a roughly new player, I learned double sling, double whirly on this thing and was like, excuse me?
Wow.
It's hooked. Your Tama is kind of resting on that hook. If you look at it, you see how it's not all the way down.
Yes.
That is, it's such a great way to like pull it around and it holds onto your finger without grabbing. Because sometimes they do like burns in there. So this is the Zach version.
Nice.
Obviously, same shape, but you get to see both colorways that way.
No, my question would be, it was really not pushed, but the selling point is, it's a sling Dama. Were you trying to double sling?
I have attempted multiple slingers before, and usually
okay.
Face. So
when they fly at you, oh my god, you got to watch out. You get that skull plane happening. No good.
But so it definitely helps me not hit myself with the kendama. So that's a benefit. I keep calling it a cheat code for kendama because you just unlock things. And then a lot of people were excited about, obviously, the purple heart.
Yeah.
In the cup. I am a left-handed player, so I pull my serratos to switch string. and it just looks like it's got like this chocolate core inside the Serato. When you look inside, it's hilarious, but I love it.
There you go. Thanks, Stacey. There you go. I have everyone like right here, right now.
There you go.
Dama News, you just saw the side-by-side comparison of the two, pretty much the same. It's just like that edge, the hard-to-find edge on the Sarado for the bird stalls cup area. You're going to find it, and just why not pick up both of them? Was the price different? I didn't check out the prices.
Price is going to be the same. There's been a question as to why there was one versus the other. So I actually talked to Nick and Zach about it at NAKO. I was like, okay, guys, what's going on here? Nick said they had developed the smaller shape. I call it the smaller shape because the cups are less chunky. So the G shape first, and then Matt was like, or they were kind of like, okay, yeah, that's great, but it's very specific. So let's make something a little more like universal that we can release on more Damas, and then we'll make that one like the G shape. Yeah. And so that's kind of what they came up with. So the amped is apparently going to be more of the like general releases, and then G shape will be more specific.
There you go. Yeah, totally. Well, hopefully, I'm sure down the line they're going to be keeping these two shapes going for a while. So, you might even see some of these G-shape Ken only options pop up here and there, or even if they're popular and possibly even take over the amped. Who knows? Right. We'll only tell by the audience and see what the response is. Exactly. And, it was my birthday when they released them. So we were first in line behind Roush. So he was the first one to get his reserve. And then we're sitting there. So that's actually kind of another cool story is I'm standing in line with Chris to buy and they only had Kush at the booth, right? We're going to buy one of them each for, 4 Damas total. And Matt walks up and he's like, what are you getting? I was like, we're going to get 4. We're going to get 2 of each one. And he's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, no, one of them is for me for your birthday. Nice. Thanks. So he was just like, yeah, happy birthday. I was like, what? Okay. So yeah, it was. The G shape is going to be, I feel like it's going to unlock a lot for a lot of people. So. Yep. Definitely. And that's the cool thing about, again, I always really admire about Crom just being really open and creating so many different variations of kendamas, different shapes, and letting the people pretty much pick their own. So it's cool to see now that, other companies, especially Sweets, who is really, really pushing the boost for like a really long time, setting different types of woods and, putting it in like the splice and the sourdough and stuff. But here we go. Here's a totally different A and B. Which one do you like? You want chocolate or vanilla ice cream? And you get to choose. For sure. That's where it is. Stacey, thank you so much for jumping on and joining me, sharing your stories about NAKO and how it really touched you, and just another thing for everyone else to be like, damn, I wish I should have gone. Yes, you should have gone if you had the time, but hey, there's always next year. Yep, and you guys send it to BATB if you can, because the family, you need the vibe. You need it. It's life-changing. Yep, definitely. Thank you so much for talking with me. See you later. Yes, thank you, Stacey. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This has been dope. Such an awesome live stream, hanging out with everyone, as well as, hearing, again, everyone's experience at NAKO firsthand. Terra shape's really diverse, too. Totally. Kocho shape is definitely, that's that Rod Ansel shape. They've been pushing it, and who knows? That was one kind of idea that I had. Jared Porter becoming a Terra sponsored player right now. I'm not sure if he's pro yet. No, I think he's just on the team. Will he get a shape? Are they keeping the GFN shape that Chris June made? Is he going to stay in their lineup? We know that Jared Porter created a shape for Deal With It. Will he be wanting to create a shape to be putting into the Terra lineup? We will see as time goes on. Let me read a few more stories from, is it not saved over here? A few more stories that people shared about their NAKO experience. Can I go over here? Is it going to work? It's going to work. Where? I snagged that Kush Rod Mod. Oh, you picked one up? I was looking at that when they were talking. Tara was showing that off. I was like, that'd be nice. Okay. Supernog. Okay. Supernog says the finals at the oh, is this the whole thing or is he getting it filmed? No, yeah. Finals at the Varsity Center, Variety Center? Variety? Yes. Finals at the Variety Center for women's. Super hyped. Their energy level was sky high from Supernog, the legend of legends. That was a really cool one. I remember finding and seeing that in the archive on Twitch. Yeah, how ridiculous. How it was like really back and forth. You really had no idea who was going to be taking it. And that was really dope to see. Yes. Scarce kendama. Oh, that was another one. Did I not talk about that? Scarce kendama. My brother and I are scarce kendama. Love to come on the Dama Nerds pod. Pause. That'd be dope. One thing, I didn't have it saved, but yes, Scarce Kendama, if you are a fan, they are doing, it seems like, weekly live streams talking about their progress, some behind the scenes, how they're painting and stuff. So, hey, if you're a fan, if you want to go check it out, Fridays, I forgot when it was. Let me jump on their Instagram really quickly. No, come on, just click on the account. There we go. Don't show me the reels. Well, they'll be sharing some insight. Friday nights live from 7:30 PST. So check out the live streams. You'll be seeing some cool stuff right there. And I believe that was it. And then somebody else shared a link to a reel. So we're going to see that. Somebody... Kendamable, I can't read that. Kendamable funk Instagram. It's a link that I can't copy and paste or see at all. It's a link, but I can't select it. Oh, that sucks. No, I can't message him. Well, there you go. That's it for the weekly Dama News. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. It was good, amazing, so cool to hear stories, see G-Shape amps side by side. Thanks, Stacey, for that one. Thanks again. This is the end of this one. Hey, this is probably the last time we'll be talking about NAKO because, hey, new events are popping off. There's new things that are coming in the horizon. So be on the lookout. That's it. Weekly Dama News. Next week, I'm out of town on vacation, so there will not be a weekly Dama News for the next one. Hey, but this will be going up as a podcast later on if you're jumping in just now. Or if... Funk! It is overcomplicated. I wish I could see what that post is. You like that? But yeah, I'll be posting up as a YouTube video later on in this week. Hopefully Monday I'll be able to get it out because I'm leaving on vacation on Tuesday, as well as a podcast so we can all listen to Jboogz in clear audio as long as this download works fine, which I believe it will. Thanks again for hanging out. That's it for this week of Dama News. Catch y'all later. Have a good one and keep it clean.